God wants you to go back to the faith that you had in the beginning. And when I talk about the faith that you had in the beginning, I want you to think about the times in your life to where you didn't have anything, to where it was a moments of, of a barren land, moments of, prayers that were so deep, because, you knew that, God, if you don't show up, God, I don't know what I'm going to do, you've never experienced some of the things that you experience now, whether it was financially, whether it was mentally, whether it was physically, the moments to where you stepped out on nothing, and then God opened up a door and he allowed something to come about, God wants you to go back to that faith, that faith of saying, God, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to come about, but Lord, I trust you. A lot of times, when God blesses us, we grow with the blessings. And as we grow with the blessings, we learn how to live in a blessed place. And the blessed place is a beautiful place to live in because you've seen God's hand show up. You've seen the miracles. You've seen him make a way. You've seen him show himself so big to where it's blowing your mind to where you like, what, God, you are 100% real. You can testify about it. You can sit back and you can say, God, I know who you are. God has elevated you in the way and he has just showed himself, and being in that blessed place is a beautiful thing, but think about before you had any of the things that you had. Think about where your faith was. Think about the moments when you first stepped out on what God told you to do. Think about where your faith was. Think about the moments when you were in such a dire need and where your faith was before God has shown you some of the promised land that he has you in. You have to go back to faith to where it was so strong that you knew, like, God, I have no idea what my future holds, but I trust you. You see, a lot of times we sit back and we trust in the blessings that God has already given us. So that's what we linger on. We linger on that, and we start depending on what God has blessed us with. And we forget about the moments to where it was like, I was once with nothing. There was a moment to where I was praying for some of the things that I have now, and I seen God show his hand. So if anything ever happens in my life or any type of situations come about or any type of moments to where God is making you wait or God is trying to teach you something, go back to that faith. That faith in the beginning, that faith to where, you knew, like, God, I need you, and you trusted in him. It was a different faith than the faith that you have now. A faith to where you can look out and you can sit back and you can say, God, I don't even know what's coming. But you look at where you are right now and you see what God has done for you in your life. And then you think back and you say, God, I remember when there was a place to where I was praying and waiting for what you blessed me with now. But when things come about, Lord, I need this, Lord, I'm going through this and we're expecting the big thing that God has already given us because we've become spoiled in the blessed place. We become spoiled in the blessed place so that when we go through trials and we go through tribulations and we go through hardships and adversities and we go through bad days, we look at it like, oh, me? I like, God, God, you showed me this, God, you opened this door up for me. You blessed me with this. Why am I going through this? God wants you to continue to have the faith, but he wants you to go back to that faith that you had back then. That pure faith, that faith of the unknown, the faith that the I don't knows. That's where God wants you to be at. He wants you to be there. Go back to those moments to where you were sitting back and you were just like looking at your life and you like, you know what, God, my hands is up. I trust you no matter what. Don't allow God's blessings to spoil you. Don't allow God's blessings to put you in a place to where you just think that, you know what, well, God, you already promised me. You already said it. You already gave it to me, God. You've already shown me bits and pieces of my promised land. So it's like, I'm good. You get too comfortable. You get way too comfortable as to if God just sits back and says, I'm going to bless you, and then you act like you're never going to have another bad day, or you act like you're not going to go through certain things. God is always testing. See, his tests, they always build you. His tests, they always strengthen you. He doesn't do it to harm you or to hurt you or to do anything like that. He does it because it brings you closer to him. God will allow things to happen in your life to where he sits back and says, are you going to depend on me? Or are you going to keep staying so focused on the blessing that I've given you that you get so comfortable in the blessing that you forget about me? God wants you to depend on him. Most definitely, he wants you to depend on him. He wants you to seek his face, not his hand. He wants you to fully trust God. He wants you to fully trust him. That's the mindset that we have to be in every single day of our life. That's the mindset that we have to be in. And we can't let go of that. We cannot let go of that at all. So you have to go back to the moments to where you had that faith, to where you stepped out on nothing. Like you literally stepped out on nothing. Think about your life. Only you know those moments. I can think about the moments in my life to where I'm like, God, I remember where I used to be, and I remember how I trusted you in everything. Everything. Yes, I trust you with all of my heart right now. But see, we become spoiled with the blessings. We become spoiled because we know God has opened up the windows of heaven. We know that God has poured out so much on us. So we stand there and we look like, oh, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And we're so excited and we're like, oh yeah, we know God's going to do this. We know God's going to do that. And we trust and we believe until it does not happen. Until it does not happen. Even if it gets down to the last second of things, when you trust God like you did before, when you had nothing, when you look over, the fact that God is going to show up anyway, that God's going to make a way anyway, when you look over that, God wants your faith to increase. He doesn't want you just to become so spoiled with what he gives you, and you're looking at it like you're just, I'm supposed to have that. You got to trust in God. You got to allow your faith to be there at all times. You have to allow your faith to be there. Allow your strength to come back. Allow wisdom to take over. Allow knowledge to take over. Go back to the faith that you once knew. The faith that when you were in a barren place, the faith to where when you didn't know, the faith to where you had no idea. Think about those moments. Think about the moment to where you knew, like, God, if it does not happen, if something doesn't change, my faith is in you, God. It's only you that can do it. Some of the things that you waited on in your life to where you can sit back and look at where you are right now, and you just wipe your forehead because you're like, whoo, wow, look where you brought me from. You only made it here because of the faith that you had back then. So don't let, because circumstances and hardships and certain things come in your life, take you away from the faith, take you away from trusting in God with all of your heart, because you're so used to the doors being opened for you and you're so used to everything just being laid out to you. Humble yourself and always remember that God will always test you in those moments. Sometimes he got to shake you a little bit. Do you still trust me even though that I'm giving you this? Do you still trust me even though that I blessed you with this? Is your faith, is it enhancing? Is it increasing or is it decreasing? Where is it at? Where are you lying at? I know that I promised you this and I know that I'm blessing you. But don't let your faith weaken. Always trust in me. So if God tests you in that, you got to remember where you came from. And if God brought you out then, you better believe that he's going to bring you out now. So go back to the faith that you once knew. The faith that you had when you were in a sunken place, in a barren place, when you didn't have anything. That's the type of faith that you need to have. That's what God is looking for.